Does Volvo have a game changer in their arsenal with the EX30? We're talking about a nice compact SUV that's all electric. Let's take a closer look at what you get with the EX30 from Volvo and whether I can answer all your questions about it. Now the EX30 is a nice compact looking SUV. It's got this very futuristic, bold design, yet it is very much a Volvo. And the reason I say that is because it's got that Scandinavian look, simplistic lines that are very, very premium, and it does stand out in a crowd. But closer details also point at Volvo's heritage. You've got the Thor headlights over here. Volvo likes to say that they've also been inspired by pop culture. So if you are a fan of the Mandalorian, well, Boba Fett's helmet was also a bit of inspiration for a little bit of this design as well as down here. It's got a sealed off front, obviously being electric, it doesn't need to have an open grille over here. You've got the Volvo logo sitting really neat up front, but this is stuff that you can definitely see. As you make your way around and you take a look at the hood and what you get with it, it is really nicely sculpted. There are these nice character lines that give it a nice sporty touch as well. The wheel arches slightly flared, again adding that dynamism to the overall design. And you've obviously got these really nice large wheels over here as well. I mean, we're talking about 19-inch rims, again very aerodynamically designed alloys. So we're talking about it being able to cut through the air and have a very low coefficient of drag as well. That goes with the overall design, which is sleek and very nicely sculpted over here. As you make your way along the side, you can see that they've done a neat job with the way the roof sits. It's an all glass roof, so that's again a standout feature about the EX30 over here. And again, the character lines flow really well. Towards the rear, again, you get this slightly more pronounced look, which is bringing out that dynamic element of this being a nice compact SUV. All the way at the back, you know, what we're talking about back here is nice LED lighting. You've got this nice tower light that lights up. Great LED brake lights, your rear stop lights, they look great. The lamps look great when they light up. And so you don't mistake it for anything else, it's a Volvo. And that pretty much brings you to the overall design over here. So it's sleek, it's compact, it's also big on the inside. Let's take a look at what you get with it as a package when it comes to space, because that is something that's a standout feature about the EX30. You know, compact on the outside, but still nice and spacious on the inside. When it comes to the cabin of the EX30, we're talking about a minimalistic approach to design, yet very functional. Add to that, we're also talking about the use, a very generous use actually, of sustainable materials. Whether it's the seat covers, whether it's the center console, the dash, all of that is recycled plastics, recycled particles, and in some cases with variants, you also get recycled jeans. That's right, your denims get recycled and become part of the EX30 too. So as you can see, it is quite spacious, and we're talking about it having this entire minimalistic design approach. So you've got a lot of space right here. You've actually got a little bit of a hidden floorboard where you can store some extra knickknacks right down here in this center console over here. But you must be wondering, where do you keep your water bottles or your cup of coffee while you're on your way to work? Because at first glance, there are no cup holders. But that's where Volvo has played it really smart. Just a gentle push over here and it slides out. So you've got cup holders for two. You can actually slide the cup holder part back and keep knickknacks here as well, should you need that. There's a lot of smart tech on board the EX30. I will be walking you through that as well. But for now, let's just take a look at the space that you get. So up front, as the driver, you can see that I'm 6'2", really comfortable. I've got an electronically adjustable seat, so I can move it forward, backward, up, down, adjust lumbar support, all with a single knob. And that one knob is actually a very neat control on what makes this so convenient as well. So a nice flat bottom steering wheel is actually flat on top and flat on the bottom. So it feels nice and sporty, and so gels with the way that it moves. But you've got more than ample leg space up front. It's brilliant in terms of front passenger space. So you can see that there's ample room on board, and there's no dearth of space up front. Now let's take a closer look at what you get with the rear bench. Well, if you're as big as me, only 2 of you can get in the back over here. But having said that, it's actually pretty decent. So I've got the driver's seat pretty much where I would be driving this vehicle. And you can see that at 6'2", I still can get in here pretty reasonably. Yes, I'm losing out a little bit on thigh support, but overall, the seats feel great. They're well contoured, and they feel great on the back as well. In terms of creature comforts that you get at the back, you've got your controls for the windows right here on the back of this armrest. You've got 2 USB-C ports, which is great, and you've got a little storage bin down here. You've also got a reading light up here, and should you need to hang your coat while you're on your way to work, there's a little bit of a hanger right back here. So yes, it is well appointed. It's a little tight if you're taller than 6 feet, but if you're less than that, you're going to find it to be quite roomy actually. And again, headspace and all of that feels great in the rear seat as well. Now you must be wondering that if you want to take it on a long trip and what kind of luggage can you carry? It is a compact vehicle at the end of the day, but how much can you get in there? Well, there is a decent boot, and Volvo does have a trick up its sleeve over there too. Let's take a look at that. Alright, so when it comes to luggage space on board, it's just a simple tap of this button at the back, and you've got a electrically opening boot, which is again all about convenience. And when you take a closer look, you can actually get a sizable amount of luggage right in the back over here. So I'm talking about you having at least 3 medium suitcases stacked up next to each other, very easily done, and or getting a whole bunch of duffel bags in here. So more than enough luggage space for you to take a nice trip out of town in this vehicle in. You can also drop the seats if you have to, so that frees up a ton more space. But if you come and take a closer look, I'll show you the trick that Volvo has up its sleeve when it comes to giving you that added bit of packing room. So the floorboard opens up, and you actually get a ton more space in here. So that frees up a whole lot more for you to utilize. And that's an added touch by Volvo. Well, if you can't fit all your bags here, there is an additional bit of room right up front under the hood where you have a frunk. So right up front is the frunk, and it is a small one, about 7 liters of space. And this is where you get to keep your charging unit, which is pretty much a brilliant place to keep it so it doesn't clutter up the back. That's what you get over here with the frunk. And while on the topic of the screen, it brings me to your infotainment system and your driver information system as well. Now you would have noticed that in front of me, there is no instrument cluster. It's not a digital one. There's nothing in front of me other than this infrared item that's kind of looking at me to make sure that I'm concentrating on my driving at all times. So everything is on this Google enabled 12.3-inch touchscreen. So all your information pops up right here, and you can actually control just about every function with it. It's very neat. It's a little in terms of a learning curve as well, but I'm just going to walk you through some of the big highlights. So obviously the home screen, it's Google enabled, so I've got Apple CarPlay connected. Maps pops up as and when I need it. I can press this button over here, get my tiles. So you've got Apple CarPlay, and you can toggle your music, play around with all those functions, and do all of that as well. But that's not the big deal over here. Now you must be wondering about AC controls. AC controls, you again just press the button over here. You can select temperature, you can toy around with these numbers, and you can also change fan speed. So that's for you to even set, and you can actually save it so that the next time you get in the vehicle, it's very easy to do. So this is just a slider for your fan speed, and it takes care of that. You've also got your AQI. So currently you can see that it's giving me a reading of 11 of PM 2.5, so it's very good. The AQI filter on board makes sure that the cabin air quality remains at a healthy level at all times. So if you live in Delhi or Bombay and you know those bad seasons where you get really high AQI, this is the car you want to be in to make sure that that's all taken care of. Now coming to the other features on board, you can press this car icon and this screen pops up. So it gives you access to a lot of the other controls that you do need as an owner of the car. For example, adjusting your mirrors. So you press the button, now it's on the left, and then I use the keys over here to adjust the mirror on the left. I can press right, press the buttons, and adjust the right mirror. That's how it's done. Again, it can be saved and done that way. Your exterior lights can be controlled from here. The rain sensitivity can also be controlled for the wipers. So you press this button over here, how sensitive you want it to be to the rain. So right now it's set on low, you can actually choose medium and high. And you've also got access to your ambient lighting. This is again something very Scandinavian and Nordic. So you can choose between a whole bunch of options over here. So you've got forest bath, you've got Nordic twilight, and all of these to sort of light up the cabin. The lights over here change as well along with this functionality. So that's by and large what you get with the first screen. You can also open the trunk from right here. You can check the car status. So your tire pressure, trip info, all of that is right here. And a whole bunch of other settings that you can toy around and play with on this screen. So that's by and large how you control this vehicle. And when you're driving, this top part is what works as the driver instrument cluster. So you can see your speed, you can see all of those details over here. In fact, over here, a little screen pops up that shows you any obstacles in your way. So it's got 5 cameras, 5 radars, and a whole bunch of tech on board to ensure absolute safety while driving. So you can see all of that being displayed right up here too on what the sensors are picking up when you're moving in traffic, which is pretty cool. So it is minimalistic, it is simplistic, but it's also really high on tech. Now when it comes to creature comfort, obviously sound on board makes a very big difference. Playing back your favorite tunes, listening to your favorite podcast, whatnot. Volvo has thought this through as well, and they have a 9-speaker system on board from Harman Kardon, and it delivers 1040 watts as an output. But the smart thing is the way that they've integrated all of this. This is probably the first car I've ever sat in that has a sound bar. So right up front is a sound bar that has a number of speakers integrated in it. Then you've got the rear speakers, the subwoofers, and all of that put together to give you a very immersive and dynamic sound while you're on board. And that is a touch of class. Well, that's that about space, design, interior features, comfort, and all of the stuff that we've covered so far. We obviously need to talk about how this thing drives, but before we drive it, we need to know how to start it and get inside. And it all comes down to this smart card. This is the key to the Volvo EX30. You don't get a key fob. All you do get is this and a digital key that you can have in your phone. But with this, the first thing that you do is come towards the door where you see the logo, put the card there, and as you can see, it's unlocked. Now once you're seated inside, you have to take the key, well, the key card, and place it on the wireless charger and hold it down so that the car starts. And that's how you get the Volvo EX30 to start. With that, I can finally shut the door, buckle up, because Volvo invented these. No, I'm just kidding. It's also the fact that these are going to save your lives. So remember to always buckle up before you drive. And let's go. So when it comes to driving the EX30, what do you get? Well, to start with the numbers, 272 horsepower, 343 Newton meters of torque, a drivable range of about 480 kilometers on a single charge, It's got a 69 kilowatt hour extended range battery pack on board, and it can do 0 to 100 in 5.3 seconds. What this translates to is a vehicle that's fun, it's quick off the mark, and really nice to drive. But it's not just about speed, right? We're talking about handling, we're talking about the ride comfort. All of these elements really stand out when it comes to the Volvo EX30. Volvo has been known to have these nice plush SUVs, and while this is a compact vehicle over here, what we do get is that same quintessential Volvo ride and comfort. It feels well planted, but thanks to a low center of gravity, it also handles really well. It's a vehicle that you want to push through a corner. It's fun, it puts a smile on your face, but then a lot of electric vehicles have that surge of power and have that sheer joy of just unleashing all that electric energy and sort of bursting forward with that motion. So yeah, all in all, it's a fun vehicle to drive, it's well appointed, and really there is no complaint when it comes to the ride quality, the way that it handles, or the way that the steering feels either. In fact, the steering feels quite sporty, firms up really nice at higher speeds. I like the fact that it's not just your regular circle. It's got this neat sporty look to it that again brings out that fun and young element that the EX30 is really known for globally. In fact, the other thing that I do want to talk about when it comes to performance is the fact that that they are claiming that this 480 kilometer range that they're talking about is actually very close to the usable range. So that is something that is a standout feature about it, and it is a vehicle that could pretty much double up as your primary work vehicle, and you could take it out on a weekend getaway if you had to. Charging, again, you do get 11 kilowatt hour charger with it, which is part of the entire package. But it's also got fast charging capabilities, so you can do the 20 to 80 in about 25 minutes or so. So it's convenient, it's easy to use, and definitely fun to drive. And last but not the least is safety. Now, Volvo does build the safest cars in the world, and the EX30 is no exception there. It's got a Euro NCAP rating of 5 stars, which just sort of proves that point. But what you do get on board, and I'm not going to get down to the basics, it's got airbags all around, it's built well, it's got a very rigid chassis, all your crash test norms and everything are all compliant over there. But it's also got 5 cameras and 5 radars on board for a whole bunch of predictive driving scenarios, and that adds that additional layer of safety to this overall package. So if you are in an accident, yes, the car is built strong, it's built right, and it will protect you over there. And it also comes with all that predictive tech to ensure you don't get into an accident in the first place, which is also very cool. Well, with that, we come to the end of our review of the Volvo EX30. It's definitely a car that delights. To me, it has got all the makings of being a game changer in its segment. Of course, we are waiting with bated breath for the pricing. Now, the pricing will be announced at the end of September. Bookings open in August and delivery starts in October. But my closest guess is that this is going to be around that 40 lakh kind of mark, which actually makes it quite a deal on wheels. Let me know what your thoughts are on that as well. If you've got any further questions about the EX30, drop me a comment below. It's my promise and the MotorScribes promise that we answer every question that comes in on the channel.